all swimming in this AI revolution, right? Companies are sinking billions of dollars into it, and all we hear about is this amazing, efficient future. But here's the thing, there's a huge gap between the promise and the reality. For most businesses, all that money is just hitting a wall. So what is actually going on? Let's get into it.
Look, when you boil it all down, by 2026, we're all staring at a pretty stark choice. You either ship a working AI solution that actually delivers real, measurable value, or you stay stuck in development hell, what some people are calling pilot purgatory, where you're just planning forever but never actually launch a thing. And that right there, that's the heart of the problem we're talking about today, the AI execution gap. This isn't about the tech not being good enough. It's about this massive chasm between what companies say they want to do with AI and what they're actually managing to pull off. So yeah, despite all the hype and all the money being spent, if you look at what's actually happening on the ground, most companies are completely trapped. They're in that pilot purgatory. They've got endless demos, endless proofs of concept, and pilot programs that, they look great in a meeting, but they never ever become real tools that people actually use.
There's this quote that just absolutely nails it. Technology that doesn't fix a real problem on a real floor for a real person is expensive furniture. And that's it, right? If your shiny new AI isn't solving a real, tangible problem for one of your employees, it's not a tool. It's just really, really expensive office furniture.
So the big question is, how do you escape this trap? Well, the answer isn't some complex 5-year plan. It's actually a super simple but really disciplined playbook. Ship in 6 weeks. Okay, this playbook is all about focus. For 50 grand, you get 6 weeks. Here's how it works. Step 1, you pick one single workflow. Not 10, not 5, just one. Something concrete, like reconciling invoices. Step 2, you deploy it. No more testing in a lab, you get it into the hands of real people. And step 3, the most important part, you measure its impact on the bottom line right away. And look, the whole point of this is to get you out of that cycle of just theoretical planning. Seriously, stop making endless PowerPoint decks about what could work. Instead, you build what's called a digital twin, basically a virtual copy of a real-world process, like a factory assembly line. This lets you test and find real efficiencies without messing up your actual day-to-day operations. And the results? They can be absolutely staggering. That number you're looking at, $380,000, that's the actual real-world annual savings from using just one digital twin on a single production line. That's not a projection in a slide deck, that's real money going back into the business. But of course, a great tool is pretty useless if nobody knows how to use it. Which brings us to the second crucial piece of execution, the Train 5 method. We gotta stop thinking about training the old way. Forget about buying 1,000 licenses for some online course that nobody ever finishes. The Train 5 method totally flips that idea on its head. Instead of training everybody just a little bit, you go deep with just 5 people. You give them hands-on reps with the actual tools they're gonna use, and you turn them into your in-house experts who can then teach everyone else. And this isn't just a hunch. We've got the data to prove it. Research from MIT found that when people were trained deeply in skills like multi-perspective prompting, their output shot up by a massive 110%. It just proves that deep, practical skill demolishes broad, surface-level knowledge every single time. Now, getting this right requires a whole new mindset, and it has to start at the very top. So for CEOs, the message is pretty blunt. Stop treating AI like a PR announcement. Start treating it like an actual business unit. Measure its financial impact. Show me the numbers. And for employees, listen, this is a huge opportunity. The fear of being replaced is real, I get it. But the smart move is to completely reframe it. Don't be afraid of the tool. Become the person who's so good at running it that you become absolutely indispensable. And finally, for the board of directors, your job is to demand proof. Stop accepting these beautiful, glossy strategy decks as a substitute for actual results. You need to be asking to see the specific lines on the P&L where AI is making or saving the company money. Period. Okay, so let's say you did it. You followed the playbook, you shipped an AI tool in 6 weeks. High five. But there's another problem, a more subtle one. What happens when the output from that shiny new tool, well, what if it just sounds like a generic, unhelpful robot? This leads us right into the second big hurdle, the quality gap, or what we can call AI speak. Because, shipping a tool is really only half the battle. If that tool just churns out generic robotic sounding content, you haven't really solved the problem at all. And I guarantee you have seen AI speak before. It's that language that puffs everything up, calling every minor event pivotal. It's that vague credit to experts without ever saying who they are. It's that cringy promotional tone that describes everything as a vibrant tapestry. These are the dead giveaways. So why does this even happen? Well, it all comes down to a statistical idea called regression to the mean. Just think about it like this. The AI is trained on basically the entire internet. So it learns to play it safe by giving the most average, middle-of-the-road answer possible. It will always choose a bland, generic statement over a sharp, specific fact because statistically, the average answer is less likely to be flat-out wrong. But the good news is, just like the execution gap, this quality gap is totally fixable. You just have to know what to do. So how do we start rewriting the robots? Just look at this classic example. AI Speak loves to add useless fluff like marking a pivotal moment in regional transportation. I mean, it sounds kind of important, but it adds zero actual information. Human Speak is direct, it's confident. The station opened in 1954. The fix is that simple. Force your AI to state facts and kill all the commentary. So here it is, your playbook for fixing quality. You have to think of it like you're an editor training a new writer. You have to enforce specificity, ban all those fluffy phrases and weasel words, penalize that cheesy promotional language. You are literally setting the editorial standards for your machine. And that really ties this all together, doesn't it? Closing the execution gap isn't just about pushing a tool out the door. Real mastery of AI is a two-part challenge. First, you have to execute and actually implement it. And second, you have to demand incredibly high-quality, human-like output from it. So, I'll leave you with this one last really important question. I want you to think about your own business or your own team. What is the one process, the one workflow that is basically being held together right now with hope and a really messy spreadsheet? Because that's your starting line. That's your first 6-week sprint.